What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Scoops of Insight podcast, and I'm your host, Trevelyan Owen, and this is where we get valuable insights and technology tips with the focus to educate, empower, and to bring awareness of the technology we use. My topic today is the everyday cell phone. In the previous episode called Getting Started, I talked briefly about tools that we may already have, and if we looked at it differently with another perspective, it would help us to do things or do some things that we thought we didn't have the tools to do, for at least to get started on some level, somewhere, somehow, and how it was a matter of perspective. Thinking about applications, storage, camera, mic. Matter of fact, check this out. If you are not operating a motor vehicle or a bike or anything that's going to cause you or somebody else harm, look at your cell phone. Take out your cell phone. Think about, or you may already be on your cell phone. Think about things you can do with your cell phone. You got the software applications that you can use on it. You have storage where you can store stuff on it, or use online storage application, also known as cloud storage. You have a built-in camera for pictures or video, a built-in microphone to capture sounds and to talk on it, to someone or to something. Your cell phone is a computer. These tools may be the obvious, but are the abilities of these tools so obvious? That's the question. A lot of times, some people don't even explore the depth of the tools that they have and don't see all the possibilities they have beyond the surface level of what these tools can do. I know sometimes I fall in this category when there are so many tools to research to see which ones are best for me at a given time. The device, computer, cell phone is what, techies call hardware. It's the tangible things we can physically touch. The applications or the apps is what techies call software. It's the intangible things that we cannot physically touch. Think about it. If you have a computer, cell phone, and some software, what can you do with what you have after you learn how to use it and gain perspective of what it was created for? Think about it. Check this out. So you go into a television broadcast studio, or you go into a film studio. What does that studio have? So that you can see the end product on the TV screen. What does it have? What are the core fundamental things it has? It has a microphone. It has a camera. Somebody has a keyboard or a keypad. Software. The core components of what you need for video or for audio. Studio. So think about it. Your cell phone is a recording studio. Now, talking about the basic fundamentals now. The cell phone wasn't made to be a recording studio, but the basic components of some of the cell phones, you can produce studio type things that you would have to go to a studio for. Check this out. So to do a movie, I'm only speaking from the vantage point of an iPhone or an iPad. The newest, well, not the newest, but some of the newer, iPhones and iPads that came out, Apple have been making those so that you can record video, so that you can record actual video footage and use it for a movie. They even have some videos to where they're showing you they use an iPhone to, do the footage and all of that stuff. Not trying to get into all of that, but the fact still remains. You can use your cell phone to produce. Produce that audiobook. Produce that TV show. Produce that podcast. You can use your iPhone to do it, to get started on, some level. Think about it. You're thinking, aren't you? Keep on thinking. How many of y'all wanted to get on TV? Y'all wanted to have your TV show, on the networks and all that stuff. Guess what? You listening? YouTube. Get on YouTube. Let that be your network. Let that be your TV network. You can use YouTube to be on TV. You can use your iPhone, your cell phone, whatever the case may be, your computer, and get on TV with YouTube. Just as simple as that. Use YouTube and you can stream to other devices. Not other devices, you can stream to other social media networks. There's software that you can use, whether it's StreamYard, whether it's Restream, whatever the case may be. You can use things that will distribute your show to multiple platforms, multiple social media platforms. I'm giving y'all some game if y'all ain't been thinking about this before. Just think, when COVID happened, everybody was doing video conferencing. A lot of people was using Zoom, doing their video conferencing using Zoom to connect to their Facebook or whatever social media platform that they were using. Basic broadcasting. You have a studio, which is your cell phone or your computer. You're broadcasting the signal to different stations or different locations. Got your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever it may be, your website, whatever it may be. Just a different way to look at it. At least something to get started on. Now, you don't want to stay there. For some people, that might be all they do, and stay right there and they're comfortable with that. But you can learn enough of the production at that level so that when you have the funds and the dollars and the people to take it to the next level, you already got the concept down pat. Just got to learn about the different microphones, learn about the different cameras, learn about, the different lighting. So, with that said, this episode is about thinking about things differently, getting another perspective of what we have. The everyday cell phone. Hope there was something that I was able to share that you didn't know already, or at the very least, have you to think about something a little differently. Have you to think about this everyday cell phone a little differently. Just a little differently. In the pauses, I know it's not, politically correct to have pauses in your podcast. But I just wanted this podcast to be something that, we really think about. Think about the phone, the everyday phone. Think about the everyday software. Think about the tools that we have that we are only using a small percentage of it. The tools that we have that we're only using it just for a little bit, a small portion of it. So the purpose of this podcast was a thinking podcast, a podcast to think about, to ponder. Think about the different things that you want to do, that you've been thinking about doing. But you put those ideas on the shelf because you said you didn't have all the stuff that you needed to get started. If you need to write a book, you can get started on writing your book on your phone. One thing that I paid attention to on my phone was using one of the applications to speak, and it will take what I say and it will turn it into text. Now, of course, I got to go back to that text and edit the text, because I might say one word and it thinks I'm saying another. So, of course, you got to go back and do your edits. But for writing that book, or for writing down notes, or for, you have a meeting and you want to transcribe or have a transcription of that meeting, you can use your phone for that. There's an application in your phone that will transcribe those meetings or transcribe what you say, as long as you have a microphone to speak into it. The best thing to do, if you already have a Bluetooth microphone or you have a microphone directly connected to your phone, that's the best way to do that. Or there are some video conferencing tools that you can use that have transcription built into it when you record. One of those things are Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams, whenever you use it for video conferencing and you're recording, it has a feature to where it transcribes what everyone is saying in that particular video conference. So yeah, everyday cell phone, everyday software that we're using. How can we look at these softwares and look at these things differently for maximum impact on what we need to do and what we have to do? With that said, this is the Scoops of Insight podcast. Thank you for listening, for joining me on this episode. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and download this podcast. And also, based on what device you're listening on, whether you're listening on this through YouTube, go ahead and click that notification bell so that you'll be notified on the next new episode. Thank you for your support.